Side parts are back, so join me today to do a French bob with a side part. For this, the other key tip is making sure you use the right tools, and we are going to be using texture shears to cut the perimeter for a fast, easy, clean result. Starting with 4 quadrants, you can see here, very traditional. We're first going to identify where the side part will live. We can use different references from the eye, center of the eye, outside corner of the eye, or you can find your client's natural part. Once you've identified where the part lives, you're going to subsection that and put that over to the other side of the head and secure it with a clip. Then you'll see we now have a modified 4 quadrant sectioning for this. Now let's talk about tools. I'm going to show you 2 different texture shears. We have the Villa Ambassador shears and the Villa Reversible blenders. Notice the teeth spacing on each one of these. Because we are cutting the perimeter, we want to use the reversible blenders because the teeth are closer together. We'll get our result faster. And in a second, I'm going to show you the result and why we're doing this. You also always want the teeth to point towards your client so you get a soft beveled under result. Now we're going to go back into the back 2 quadrants and we're going to subdivide each one of these in half. This is going to make it a lot easier for us to be able to control that perimeter since we're going to take it all in one section as we cut. And it's going to follow the head shape more so we don't have so much width to have to work around the head shape. So once you've done one side of the quadrant in the back, you're going to continue and repeat it on the other side. A lot of times we tend to start our bobs in the back. Let's talk about that for a minute. That's great, but especially with bobs, sometimes our clients are very particular about where they want this length to be. So you know what? Let's start in the front. With the front as your starting point, you can work with the client to decide where exactly do you want that perimeter line to fall. And now they have more confidence in the end result because they're seeing it happen. Here we come in with the reversible blenders. The teeth are pointing towards the client, so it gets a soft beveled under shape. Coming in, I would say measure twice, cut once, make sure you're where you want to be. Teeth pointed towards the client. I'm coming in, and as I cut, I'm using a slight back and forth motion to help those texture shears cut through. And in a second, I'm going to show you the result we get. It's not as hard as a shear, but it's also not as soft as a razor. It's somewhere right in between. So here we go. Look at this. We're slowing this down for you. You can see that really beautiful line that we get by using these reversible blenders. Now, that's done. The client's happy. We're happy. We can now continue through the rest of the head. When you use these clean sections and follow the head shape, you can actually start your bobs anywhere on the head. So again, if you want to, you could subdivide it, but based on the density of this client's hair, we are not doing that today. We are going to use the right tools and the right sectioning so we can compress section this and cut this all at once. Now, just always making sure that my finger position and finger angle is even and consistent, I can continue to work through these sections. I also just want to make sure that I'm only putting the amount of hair in my hand that I can control at a time. And my body position should always be directly in front of the section that I am cutting with. For camera, it looks like I'm a little off to the side. That's just so you can see it. But the reality is you always want to be right in front of your section. Otherwise, we tend to get a little bit of over direction. If you have a bob, when you cut that line, if it tends to get a little longer, always maybe on the left side or the right side, check your body position so you aren't accidentally getting over direction. Now, throughout this bob, you'll see this combing technique. I'm actually combing the hair around the head shape as I go. That helps me get that beveled under shape so I can cleanly see my guide as I continue through. Now, I'm going to keep going through these sections in the back, but it's pretty straightforward. Notice that I'm using the fine teeth of the comb as I set up my section, but I go to the wide teeth of the comb to reduce tension as I come into the actual cutting portion of each section. So this is pretty straightforward. You can see this beautiful line that we're creating. Also notice that my client's head is not tipping down. The minute I tip my client's head down as we work in the back, we start getting a really strong bevel under. This takes us away from that French bob look. We want it to be a really pretty clean straight line. We don't want too much bevel under. So again, the right tool using the reversible blenders helps me get a soft bevel without making it look like a dated bob, and it still looks like a classic new French bob. All right, just finishing up the back, then we're going to go to the side. You'll notice that I need to readjust my section so I have control. Just like we subdivided the back quadrants in half, we're going to do something similar as we continue to move to the front. So I'm just finishing my last back section area here. Notice also how I'm pushing my sections out of the way that I'm not working on so I can cleanly see that perimeter line and my guide as I go. Again, wrap combing so we get a nice finish. Coming into the sides, what I want to do, you can see I've isolated away that part section and I'm keeping that separate in a clip. Now I need to subdivide this just like I did in the back. So comb it into natural falling position and the hair is going to naturally split. It's going to tell you where that vertical curve is on the head because there's so much width there. You can see it automatically split. Now I'm going to isolate that out of the way. This exposes the side section I'm working on. As long as I'm staying consistent with my finger angle, finger position, my length should also be consistent and cleanly matching the other side of the head. So quickly going through using the back and forth motion with my texture shears. Then there I am checking, feels even. Now I can come through and start adding in my next section. So I haven't worked with the side part area yet. I'm still working from a center part, but I want to start combing the hair into what we call natural wearing position, different than natural falling position. I comb it into place and I'm using the wide teeth of my comb just to secure it so it doesn't drop back into natural falling position. Now I'm going to take my last section, this is my side section, comb it over into natural wearing position. Where will your client wear it so it stretches into place? This is nice to make sure you have it damp enough so it holds itself where you want it to go. Once you've found that, come back with the wide teeth of your comb, gently lock your fingers in, and then secure it and cut. It's that easy. Now we can comb it into place. So when you use the right tool, step away from your shears, get out your Villa reversible blenders, subdivide, but most importantly, have really clean sections. Take smaller sections because when we have a strong foundation, we actually can get through these cuts faster and easier. Now this client's ready to either air dry or blow dry this hair in shape, and she has a modern side part French bob. I am Villa Ambassador Mandy McCullough. You can find me on Instagram at Fancy Finish.